Hi everyone, I'm in Japan, in Okayama, visiting my grandchildren. Let me get this right. Sorry, I'm shaking you all about. Anyway, I thought I'd come on and do a little video. I've been really reflecting today and the last few days about, life and how important it is for me to come to Japan to see my grandchildren. They're growing up so fast and I only get to see them twice a year, and that will stop if I can't save around 10,000 New Zealand dollars a year. So yeah, that's pretty frightening. So I thought I'd do a video, and I wrote some notes while I was having coffee this morning at the station. I've actually come into Okayama really early to drop my granddaughter at school so I can pick her up at 11. She has a half day and be on grandma duties, which is fantastic. So welcome to my channel. I'll introduce myself. My name is Kaz Hurst and I'm a grandmother of three granddaughters. I have a step granddaughter and two granddaughters of my own. I am 61 years old and I recently went through a really traumatic experience of separating. What I thought was my soulmate left, and yeah, I still get quite emotional about that because even though I'm really doing really well with her leaving, I'm really not doing really well with the life that I now have as a result of her leaving. I spent 3.5 to 4 years building our home. I looked after her because she had some serious health issues. So she worked, that was her way of coping, and I did everything else. She sees it differently to me, and I see it differently to her. Anyway, I digress. Let me introduce you to the cherry blossom of Japan behind me. I walked a wee while to get to this scenic place. Anyway, so welcome. Please subscribe, like, do all that thing that YouTube likes to do. Anyway, I thought I'd discuss about the 3 things that I really need to set as really firm goals. So I have about 7 years of work left in my career. In New Zealand, we get our pension at 65, so I will get that in 4 years' time. And I figured I could probably work till I'm about 67. I'm 61 now. So for the last couple of years of work, I hope to get my pension and a wage so I can knock off my mortgage. My mortgage currently will run till I'm 83. Terrifying. I've started twice over because I've been separated twice now. And I'm never going to do that again. But I said that last time, but I'm not. I'm going to get into, anyway. That's not why we're here. So I have 3 main goals which I need to work towards. And the first one is obviously the cash stuffing side of things so I can pay off my mortgage. So as I said, I've got 19 years and something left on my mortgage. And sorry, I did write all this down. So the reality is quite frightening. I'm 61 with a mortgage of the next 19 years. Really? Yeah, my mortgage was supposed to be done by now, but so those of you out there who have separated and started over, it's tougher the older you get. Anyway, I'm resilient. I've done this before. I have really good friends around me, I have good family, and I do have a lot of resilience, drive and energy to get sorted. So, what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'll turn the page. So my goals in life are to always be able to see my grandchildren at least twice a year. So I need to start putting aside a significant amount of money to be able to do that. So I figured that 10,000 New Zealand dollars a year might help with that. So I'm going to need to really cut back on a lot of things to do that. Haven't really worked it out, but that's what I think. I'm going to give up my crafting business because it doesn't make any money. It was a hobby that I hoped to make money, because you always do, but you don't. You actually spend more than you make. I'm thinking I will continue my classes, but I won't be selling products to make money. I will just make experiences and sell my teaching. That's really hard for me to say, because I've always wanted to make a business out of my crafting, but it's going to be my secondary income, and it's not an income. So what I'm hoping to do is to create an online presence of me, being real, talking about my experiences and talking about the things that I know really well, which is how to help people problem solve, how to help people get through their emotions. And actually, I find that when I'm helping others, I actually help myself. So this might be a really great platform for that. So that's my first goal, is to get enough money to come to see my grandchildren twice a year, and that will mean giving up my crafting business, but increasing my online presence through crafting, teaching about life, teaching about coping skills, etc., etc. My second goal is to pay off my mortgage in 10 years. So at the moment, I've increased my payments on my mortgage to what I can budget. And at the moment, I've had my mortgage since January, and I've already paid off 6 months, and it's now April. So by increasing your monthly payment, you can actually pay a bit more off your mortgage by just that small increase, because your interest drops quicker. I'm also, I have 2 mortgages. So one mortgage is fixed, and that's a fixed payment. The other mortgage is where I pay my wages into, and it acts as a current account. It's called a revolving credit mortgage. So everything that goes into that account stays in that account to drop the interest each month. So the maximum interest I can be charged on that money is $180 per fortnight. And at the moment, I'm being charged between $35 and $50 per fortnight. So already I'm saving money there. And that is the money I will hope to pay off over the next few years, and keep paying that revolving credit off to then knock my mortgage down. So 2 goals so far. Is it 2 goals? To pay off my mortgage quicker, and I'm confusing myself. Sorry. So goal 1 is to visit my grandchildren twice a year. Goal 2 is to pay off my mortgage quicker. My third goal is the biggest one to talk about. I have an addiction to food. I use food to celebrate. I use food to commiserate. I use food to make me happy. I use food to help my stress. And since the separation, I have put on over 20 kilos I've not weighed. I know now I've put on 3 dress sizes, and my health is suffering. I have arthritis, so extra weight is not good for that. And my asthma has been playing up with all the stress and anxiety, and the weight doesn't help that. So my final goal is to look at my weight. I'm going to start thinking about doing some budgeting around food, meal planning around food, and then doing some saving challenges that will encourage me to look at what I eat, when I eat, and how I eat. I'm also going to start looking at sharing some of the techniques I'll use on myself to help with my eating. Things like mindfulness, things like changing the way I think about food, doing some delayed gratification work. So there are lots of skills that I teach other people around food and eating, but things that until I get into the right frame of mind, doesn't happen. So yeah, so I'm going to finish there. So my 3 goals: to come to see my grandchildren, to pay off my mortgage a bit quicker, and to look at my health, my overall health, not just my weight, but my mental health, and then getting fit. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with the beautiful stream in the middle of Okayama and the cherry blossom of Japan.